Hey there, it's Sam with Tennis Express. I'm here with Alex, one of our TE playtesters, and we just got off the court with the new Wilson V9 Blade 98s. Two versions, a 16 by 19 and 18 by 20 we had on the court today. Big new technological change is that stable feel. The rackets play firmer than the previous version and a little bit more stable on returns and volleys as well. Alex, can you kind of run us through what you thought about the V9 Blade 16 by 19 version?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, right off the bat, when we were just warming up even, I could feel that the racket was a more solid, firm playing racket, which I like. I think it suits my game and just the modern game in general a lot better than some of the older models. And the 16 by 19 is a very surprising amount of spin for the blade. So I like this racket.
Fair enough. So the previous version of the blade, and really the previous couple of generations, they've been softer flexing. They've been softer rackets. One of the things I appreciated about this model was that while it is firmer, I still feel like there's a good feel for the ball. You don't feel disconnected at contact. So while I would say firmer, I'm not prepared to say like very, very stiff or uncomfortable. It's just a subtle change, I think, from the previous blade layup. Alex, so compare and contrast for me the 18 by 20 and the 16 by 19.
Yeah, so with the 16 by 19 compared to the 18 by 20, definitely a better feel just because of more open string patterns, less dampened, less dead feel. Obviously a lot more spin, which is noticeable. Sometimes you don't really notice them between a 16-19 and 18-20. This one you really can. I like both rackets. Personally, I prefer the 16 by 19 mainly because I think this racket does need a little bit of help in the power department. You know, I was swinging pretty hard at some balls. You've probably seen the video of me smashing some out. But even if I was hitting hard and swinging fast, it just didn't feel like that punch was there.
Now let's take a look at the specs for the Wilson Blade 98 V9. Biggest difference between the two Blade 98s is the string pattern. One is a more open 16 by 19, the other is a more dense 18 by 20 pattern. Both rackets are 10.8 ounces unstrung, feature a headlight balance, a thin beam, and a little bit of a lighter swing weight than the previous version. I think the big technology change for me where I noticed it the most on both rackets is returns, volleys, taking a ball early. It just felt like there was a little bit more help at contact. I don't have the most huge windup on my shots, but when I had a little bit more compact backswings, I was surprised that I was able to still get the ball through the court. So for me, that's a big improvement over the previous version where sometimes on a serve or return, if you didn't get the great part of the racket, the ball would fall short and you could get punished on that first ball. Alex, as far as comparing to V8, the previous blade models, where do you think the V9 stands overall?
I think that for the way the direction today's tennis is going and how big people are hitting today, I think it was inevitable that they stiffen the racket up a little bit. So I think it's a good change. I really am excited to see, what kind of people are using this racket, what do you guys think of it?
I do think subtle change. We didn't mention it earlier, but I feel like the swing weight has come down a touch on these two models, so it's easier to get through the air, especially if you're on the move and you're a little bit late. You feel like you can whip the racket head around and still get the ball to your target. Previous versions, a little heavier swing weight. If you were late, you might be in trouble, the ball dropping short, and again, getting punished. Lots of things to like, especially this new cosmetic, really good looking V9 Blade 98 rackets from Wilson. Check them out at tennisexpress.com, and do not forget, demo your racket to find the best one for your game.